Woman in her 60s shot near Belmont Park. She's the latest bystander in a string of incidents in the area to be wounded when arguments escalate to shootings. Close call on the freeway this morning. An object flying through a man's windshield, even hitting him, but he still managed to keep driving until he found help. And the changes local activists are calling for after a video showing a school staffer putting a knee on a student's neck after breaking up a fight. ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
ABC 10 News at 11 starts now.
Good morning to you. I'm Jim Patton. For the third time in a little more than a month, police are investigating a shooting in the Belmont Park area. ABC 10 News reporter Marie Cornell joining us there live. And Marie, those who live in that neighborhood and some employees are worried that this is becoming a trend.
Yeah, Jim, and they are calling this concerning, knowing that those 3 shootings happened in their community where they live and where they work. For those who work and live near Mission Beach, the sound of gunfire is becoming all too familiar. The most recent shooting was Monday night. Police say a woman in her 60s was putting her stuff into her car when she was shot. Investigators say the shooting happened after some sort of altercation between a group and an individual. At this point, it's still unclear how far they were from the woman who was hit. The woman, who friends say is a vendor, was hit in the back. She was taken to the hospital where she was rushed into surgery. She is expected to be okay. Disturbing news to wake up to for Pat Stapleton and her husband, who have lived in this community for 50 years.
We've had some ups and downs because it's a vacation place. You get everybody coming to visit, but these shootings that are just 1, 2, 3 have really gotten the residents worried. They're not happy about it.
The other 2 shootings happened just weeks ago. One injured Tim Galather, who works as a cook at Chicken Charlie's. His parents say Tim was just getting out of work when chaos erupted. Police say this shooting happened after a fight between 2 groups of people near Mission Boulevard and Ventura Place. Quinn Delaney has been working at Mission Beach since March. She says these shootings are bringing up safety concerns, which she worries will also have an impact on foot traffic coming in.
It's definitely a fear. I feel like it's definitely scary for businesses and smaller businesses too, especially right after COVID and then this is happening. Definitely a worry.
ABC 10 News did reach out to police to find out if they have any plans to do anything differently, such as step up patrols in light of these shootings. We are told that is something they are looking into. In terms of what happened here last night, witnesses say they saw someone who may be connected to the shooting leave this area in a black sports car. Live from Mission Beach, Marie Cornell, ABC 10 News.
Marie, thank you very much. Well, this morning, a bizarre incident on the northbound 15 in the Mission Valley area, and says another vehicle's drive shaft came flying through his windshield, hitting him in the face. Incredibly, he was able to keep driving and get help. Firefighters at Station 45 on Friars Road say they were returning from a call when, to their surprise, that driver and his damaged Tesla was parked out front. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. No word on what caused the object to hit his car or what other vehicle it may have come from. Now, this morning, a local civil rights group called for a campus supervisor to be fired over last week's incident at Valhalla High School. On video, that supervisor is shown breaking up a fight between 2 teenage girls. It ends with him putting his knee on the girl's neck. ABC 10 News anchor Mary McKenzie is live near Valhalla High School, where there was a press conference, Mary, earlier this morning, and they are asking for more than just the firing.
They're asking to meet with the state superintendent of schools, Jim. They're also saying and promising to look into policy that would ban the use of that knee on the neck restraint in all schools in California. Now, we don't have permission to show you that video. It is widely circulating, however, on social media, as is a still photo of that restraint being shown side by side with a picture of George Floyd.
There needs to be state law that comes out of this, ensuring that no other young lady or no other young man ever has to face the fear of being George Floyd number 2.
Civil rights advocate Shane Harris was joined by Bishop Cornelius Bowser and Mark Powell, former San Diego Board of Education member, and others, calling for the supervisor in this incident to be fired, calling for a meeting this week between the girl's guardian, she's in foster care, and the school principal and district superintendent. Her guardian, Ann Ford, was supposed to be there to talk about how the girl is doing. Harris said she's been re-traumatized by the incident and its aftermath and is not back at school right now. Harris's group, the People's Association of Justice Advocates, wants a meeting to understand current de-escalation policies in the Grossmont Union High School District. He also pledged to call State Superintendent Tony Thurmond to do more for foster kids, particularly those of color in California schools, including policy banning the knee on the neck practice in schools statewide. The district, for its part, has promised transparency but hasn't outlined policies currently in place. The campus supervisor has been placed on leave while they investigate. Harris said today that neither the principal nor the superintendent have met with the girl's guardian yet, but they expect that to happen this week. Harris also said he would be releasing more video and photos of the incident.
You know who her parents are? Her parents are the County Board of Supervisors. That's who's entrusted with this young lady's safety. That's who should be talking right now. This is a County Board of Supervisor issue. And instead of volunteers standing here, our elected leaders should be standing right in this spot. That's right. Where are they?
That was Mark Powell. He runs a nonprofit now called Parents for Quality Education, and he did say that all of the materials are with the County Board of Supervisors. They oversee the Child Welfare Services Department. We have not reached out to the supervisors for comment just yet. We're live in El Cajon. Mary McKenzie, ABC 10 News.
Mary, thank you very much. Well, since the start of the pandemic, they've become a fixture of local businesses, outdoor parklets. In recent months, businesses were given the okay to keep them, but were told that they had to get them up to code. Well, today, officers will start enforcing those rules. Businesses were told to make a number of changes, including things like taking off roofs, which violate fire codes, things the city says could become hazardous.
Have their reflectors. That's cool. And it doesn't come out into the traffic lane. It's staying in the area. It's staying in front of the business. So it's good.
Yeah, so that's one that passes. Businesses will have 30 days to fix anything that is out of compliance. If they don't, they could face fines of up to $100 per day. Happening today, we're waiting to learn how long a man will spend behind bars for speeding into an Oceanside police officer. Roberto Flores is set to be sentenced today after a retrial this summer. Flores was originally convicted in 2017, but that verdict was overturned after a court found his lawyer violated his rights. Flores again, though, found guilty of driving his car into Officer Brad Hunter, who was conducting a traffic stop on the side of the road. Hunter recovered from life-threatening injuries, but was forced to retire for medical reasons.
The losses that we witnessed today are profound. Dozens of lost lives, homes destroyed.
And President Biden this morning getting a look at the damage in New York and New Jersey after the region was battered by the remnants of Hurricane Ida. The weather has killed dozens of people. Biden's visit to the Northeast comes a week after he was in New Orleans, which was also hit hard by the hurricane. And this week, 9 days after Ida made landfall, hundreds of thousands of Louisianans are still without power. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Days after Ida's wrath, so many Americans still unable to go home.
Looked like a bomb went off.
The hardest hit communities like Grand Isle uninhabitable.
I've been there a long time and I can't recognize where everything's at.
The death toll from the storm, now at least 69 people across 8 states. In Greene County, Mississippi, part of this interstate gave way, cars piling up.
I was ready to give up. I was like, we're not going to make it out here. Nobody's going to find us.
In New Jersey, at least 4 people still missing. In New York City, 11 deaths were reported in basement apartments. NYPD body camera footage shows officers diving to rescue a toddler and his parents in a Queens apartment, but it was too late. Meantime, power is slowly coming back on in New Orleans, where 2/3 of the city now has electricity. But the storm season is long and people in the area are keeping their guards up.
We'll be prepared for whatever comes our way, but it's always a challenge for us down here living in the South.
The president has approved state of emergency declarations in New York, New Jersey, Mississippi, and Louisiana so that people are able to get federal assistance as they try to get back on their feet. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.